Really quick, I just wanted to thank you guys for all the support. A lot went into this video, so I hope you enjoy it. Oh yeah, and if you're here for the Captain Crunch Punch, that happens later in the video. Today I'll be making bao, and if you don't know what that is, here's some pictures. I've been making this a lot recently, and it's become one of my favorite things to cook. Not only is it really good, it's also really fun to make. I actually started making this yesterday, so let's go to that. Bao is most commonly made with Chinese barbecued pork, or Char Siu, and that's exactly what I'll be making today. I started by deboning these ribeye pork chops. I had about 3.5 pounds here. Char Siu is traditionally made with pork butt, however this is what I had available to me at the time, and it turned out pretty great in my opinion. As you can see, I'm keeping my knife as close to the bone as possible, leaving as little meat on the bone as I can. Assuming your knife is decently sharp, this part should be fairly easy and injury-free. You can see I'm not cutting away any of the fat. Because I'm roasting the meat, I want to do everything I can to prevent the meat from drying out. It'll also end up becoming part of the bao filling as it renders out later. Now, moving on to the marinade, I combined brown sugar, Chinese 5-spice, rice wine vinegar, soy sauce, hoisin sauce, salt, and extra virgin olive oil into a medium bowl and stirred until the mixture was nearly homogeneous. I'll leave a link in the description giving exact amounts of everything I used on the chance you're following along at home. I'm working with weird amounts of pork, so I didn't bother following instructions this time around. I then found a roughly 9x13 size pan to marinate my pork in. I poured in my marinade, then squeezed all of my pork into the container, making sure there was marinade covering all the pork. Everything just barely fit. Donned the lid, then put the whole affair in the fridge to marinate overnight. So I'm doing 2 batches today, which means I'll be making like 2 sets of doughs and twice as much as I'd normally make, but I'm gonna make 1 dough at a time. So I like using this packet yeast. Ooh, that might be too hot. Bread flour has a higher protein content, and that I feel like aids in making the bao just that much fluffier in the end. So that's 2.5 cups. Next up is a 1/2 cup of cornstarch. That's enough. So I'm gonna have to pour this. 1/2 cup of cornstarch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 2 teaspoons of salt. It looks like there's enough in there. I just couldn't get it. Check up on the yeast. And it looks like I did kill it. Luckily, I had 3 packets. So now we're going to go to the mixer. Typically when I'm kneading dough, I don't use the machine, but this, I think, benefits from using a kneading hook. As it's running, I'm gonna just slowly incorporate it. So it should become a shaggy dough. The dough has come together a little bit. It's still pretty shaggy. You just have to wait for it to come together and just be patient with it. Butter. You do this kind of thing to kind of get it into the right shape. So you just kind of want a smooth looking ball. Avocado oil. Put it in here. Cover that up and let it sit for about 1.5 hours. I have to make 2 batches though, so here's a quick rundown of that. In the meantime, we're gonna start making the filling for the bao. This is what our pork looks like after marinating. We're gonna be roasting this in the oven. Put the big pieces on the rack. I'm just gonna cook everything else on the frying pan. The main reason why I'm not also roasting those is because I just don't have room for it on this rack. This marinade right here is going to become a glaze. So I'm actually gonna end up using all of this honey. So we're basically just cooking until these reach an internal temperature of about 165. They're already very close to that. So I'm going to flip all of these real quick. So while the pork is cooking, I'm going to just dice some shallots for later. I have made my own recipe for a vegetarian option because my sister is a vegetarian and I want her to be able to enjoy it as well. So this is when it starts taking shape. There you go, 165. That's pretty good. That's really good. I think that's small enough. Just a little bit of oil in this pan. Put the shallots in the pan, and I'll take the vegetarian mix of carrots and shallots, put it in here. I just got around to cutting the meat I haven't cooked yet. Just that. Add some of the glaze to this. Oyster sauce is a pretty common ingredient used, but that obviously is not vegetarian, so to replace that, I'm using orange marmalade. I think the orange marmalade contrasts well with the carrots. I'm gonna go ahead and add the hoisin sauce, which I think is the majority of what the bao flavor is. About that much is good. You always want to be tasting just to make sure it's good. It's tasting really good. Really good. It needs oyster sauce. A little bit of flour at a time. Could still even use a little bit more. So it's gotten about 3 teaspoons up to this point. And that looks like it's probably enough. The vinegar enhances flavor. With a pot as big as this, I'm going to add a tablespoon at a time. I'm going to add a little water. We come get the doughs. Here's our first batch. You want to punch them down. This is where things get pretty technical. Roll it out like this. Since I have a lot of filling, I'm going to make pretty big baos. I'm going to let that rest really quick. Alright. You just want to make sure you're consistent. I ended up getting 10. A big rolling pin is too big, and I don't have a French rolling pin, so I'm just going to use this little cup. Put a whole bunch of filling in, pick up a little piece like this, pinch, grab some more, go slow, just keep going around. This one's going to be huge. And then once you have all that, you just kind of twist it up, hold it, push it, boom. Right here. That one's going to be huge. I associate Christmas with sugary foods, and nothing is more sugary than cereal. Everyone loves milk that comes from cereal. They love like drinking it up, you know, that like nectar. After we're done making cereal milk, which I'm gonna deem as Captain Crunch Punch, we're gonna have a whole bunch of leftover cereal. I feel like if you mix it up, it would be similar to cake batter. We'll just see how far I can get. I'm going to make like a filter system that filters the milk through the Captain Crunch. Alright. I'm allergic to milk, so I drink rice milk. It tastes a lot like oat milk. I guess I could have just like loosened the cap. Oh, it's gonna float. Tastes like Captain Crunch. So let's taste it after a pass. It tastes like a little bit like Captain Crunch. Just put this back. I'll clean that up later. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, that did not happen like I thought it would. It's just a brick of cereal. And then we can filter it through the container. We don't have enough milk. Use this for beans. The milk is turning green. It smells familiar, but not quite like Captain Crunch. It has consistency of pudding, and it feels like you're eating pudding with like crunchy bits in it. Oh, that looks so Christmassy. That's Captain Crunch Punch right there. It just tastes like sugar. Okay, I'm gonna start mashing everything. You know when you walk into your grandma's house and she's making you this, you know she loves you. It's so nasty. There's too much. I don't like it. It's not working. Okay, this one's bigger, so it should work better. Oh gosh.
This is your first age-restricted video.
Yeah, if you walk in on your grandma making this, then you know she really loves you. That's Captain Crunch Punch right there, baby. No, that's not quite it, because that's just the Captain Crunch concentrate. Look at that. Censor it. We're breaking new ground, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time to release this. It's all wet. I'll be back. And that's Captain Crunch Punch, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine you have your whole family sitting around the Yule log burning, stockings above the mantle, or on the mantle, and you each have a nice tall glass of Captain Crunch Punch. That's the keeper. It honestly is like, it serves the same purpose as eggnog, in my opinion. Like, it's the same texture, same sweetness. It happens to be vegan, I'm pretty sure. Is this vegan? Yes. So it's a vegan Christmas drink. If you wanted, you could... Well, never mind. This is so much, we might have to make like 3 cakes. I could honestly see this working. It kind of tastes like cake batter already. It's very sugary. I think that's as good as we're gonna get that.
Let's go.
It looks like 1 cake's worth of batter. So I'm thinking use the same amount of leavener. 2 teaspoons baking powder. I want to add some oil. Pretty much just cake batter, just like I imagined. It's just a little bit different. If you squint your eyes and you didn't know what we'd been doing for the past 30 minutes, then people might think that this is just a regular cake mix. Now I'm gonna try it, although less of it because it has egg. Tastes like baking powder a little bit. I might have put a little too much. I hate it so much. I'm gonna add some lemon juice just to hopefully make it less basic and more neutral because it tastes so gross. Well, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I have fixed the cake. It came out. At points, it looked promising. It was rising, but then it started to deflate, and it looked really liquidy even when I pulled it out. I pulled it out because parts of it started getting really dark, but then once I pulled it out and it cooled down, it actually set up. I don't know what to expect cutting into this. Oh my goodness. Weird. Underneath that first layer, it just looks like slime. It's not sticking like I thought it would. Just like Grandma used to make. So cake might be the wrong word for this. Let's try a bit of it. I'll try to cut toward you guys. It's like, hold on, I need another bite. I finished all of the Captain Crunch Punch. This, I don't think I'll be able to finish. I don't know how to describe it. I think the best description is that it tastes like corned bake. I would not recommend doing this. I don't know. I don't know why I keep eating it. I feel gross eating it. So long, Captain.